relationships, drama, philosophy. Relationships, drama, philosophy.
If you're craving more adventure in life, whether to live it vicariously through us or get ideas to spark your own, this is the podcast for you. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Scott.
We're a couple exploring life, sharing the ups and downs of figuring it all out. Whether it's our travel stories, relationship goals, tough moments, or philosophical conversations, it is never a dull episode. Join us on this spinning rock we call Earth as we figure it out together. To all our new listeners, welcome. And to everyone else, welcome back.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. Before we jump in, smash the like button with a hammer, karate chop subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a rebel, and share the episode by setting off fireworks in your backyard. It means a lot to us. Head over to our TikTok to catch the best bits from today's episode, and if you're joining us for the first time, you can go back and see all of our favourite moments. And to all of our new listeners, Shelby, myself, is our resident wordsmith. I am our resident wordsmith. I'm also known on this podcast as the countdown legend, Susie Dent. And to all of our old listeners, you know that.
Yes, well done. Well done, baby. You smashed the intro. That's the first time we've done it clean from the start. Let us know if you like it.
Yes, thank you. And just to add to Susie Dent, I'm an etymologist and lexicologist.
Yes, sorry, I didn't edit that correctly in the intro, so we'll fix that.
Lexicographer, sorry.
A lexicographer and an etymologist. I love those 2 new words.
They're great.
I absolutely love them.
Yes. So, welcome to today's episode. We are very quickly approaching the end of 2025. In fact, this will go out on the second to last day of 2025.
It will, yeah.
So the New Year's Eve, if you will. So in honour of that, we're wanting to kind of do a little bit of a summary of our travel year, what we've got up to, where we've been, and so on. So that's the plan today, isn't it, my darling?
It is, and I think this is a good one. We didn't do this last year. I think maybe we'll summarise last year a bit more in an eventual end one next year, because if you don't know, if you've not been on the journey with us, we as a couple decided we are going to commit to a 3-year full travel adventure. And we've totally committed to that. We've already completed 2 years of it. Just this year alone, we've been to 12 countries. 11 of them were new. And last year, I believe it was a couple more than that. And then we're going to finish it off next year in South America. We're going to be in South America all next year. So I think it'd be a really good one just to summarise how the year's gone. Travel's a big part of our podcast. And I think it's just we can share just all the highlights, I guess.
Yes. So, shall I start with a summary of all the countries we've been to? Or would you like to give the dear listener a summary of the countries we've been to?
Sure. So I'll start with the one we had been to before, which also happened to be the first one, was the UAE.
Yes.
We love the UAE. I'll just go through them before I go off on tangents with all these countries, because easily can be done. But the UAE had been there before, but everything else we haven't been was for the first time. Oman, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Kosovo, Montenegro, Albania, Vietnam, Laos, South Korea, China, Hong Kong.
That's so mad. Like when you list it like that, I mean that's like an insane amount of places in 1 year.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to see how many it was.
Yeah, because we weren't travelling for the full 12 months, like back to back, like we came back to the UK in between in the summer for like some weddings and so on. So yeah, it's mad to think that we've averaged a country a month.
Yeah, I'm over the moon with that. I think if we can achieve at least, I think that would be an audacious goal next year, 12. But I think if we can get like 8 or 10, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
I'd be over the moon. I think we'll do it as well.
I think with South America, there's so many like smaller countries close together. I think we can probably do it.
True, it should be cheaper and easy to get around. So maybe I'll eat my words and maybe it'll be 15.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty damn cool.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like gradually increase our yearly experiences. Well, I mean, so you said that you were going to list them all before we go into some detail. And for anyone who doesn't know, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, that's made up of Emirates rather than sort of like states. So like you're probably more familiar with Dubai and Abu Dhabi being two of the Emirates in the United Arab Emirates, and those happen to be the two that we've been to.
Yes, both are great. Highly recommend.
Both are absolutely fantastic. With that, I mean, for me, my favourite thing probably, or like the most notable thing, if I was to do a quick fire, do you know what? Why don't we do quick fire? I'm throwing a curveball here because you haven't like planned this, so maybe you'll.
No.
What if we say like the first thing that comes to mind that we remember from each of the places?
Oh, wow.
Either a word or a phrase.
So you're saying a word or a phrase of something?
Or a thing that we did that you're like, right, that's the most memorable from that place.
Okay, so you're not just a word that comes up when you say it, like an actual thing that we did.
Yeah, so for me, UAE, we went on the world's fastest roller coaster. Boom, straight away. That's what I've thought of that we did there.
Okay, so but what I need more context. Is this a good thing I'm sharing? A bad thing? Just first thing that comes.
Either
to
way,
my
just
head?
like the thing that stands out, like foremost in
Okay,
your mind.
the thing that stands out. Okay. Oh goodness. Jeez. The Ferrari world's crap.
Yeah, which happens to be where the world's fastest roller coaster was.
Yeah, Ferrari world's crap, but the fastest coaster is insanely fast.
Warner Brothers World's way better.
Yeah, it is. But no, seriously. But Dubai Marathon. I kicked off the year of Dubai Marathon. That was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then, oh man, the first thing that comes to my mind is that it is the friendliest place that we've been, I would say.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is a place where you could escape life.
Yeah. I like that. It was very calm, wasn't it?
It was. I feel like I've already gone outside the rules that you've set, but I've just gone more
it's whatever
for a
the
feeling.
vibe is, yeah.
But yeah, it felt like a place where people don't get involved in your business, but it felt, it's hard to explain. It was a very calm, quiet, social place, but it also felt like you could go there undetected.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because people that, like, a lot of places that we travel, like, even Oman doesn't get a lot of Western tourism, but, like, in places where they don't get a lot of Western tourism, you'll get people staring, looking, curious about you. Oman, they didn't care.
No, I like that. Was interesting. Because that's not true for a lot of the countries
They
there, so...
Didn't treat you
I
any
like that.
different. You felt
Yeah.
like a local. Everyone was super nice. So, yeah, you could go, disappear, no one would give a shit.
Yeah, it's a very calm place. I think it's a place that you disappear, or if you just want to get away from it all, want a very simple life that doesn't have a lot of crazy attractions, just very simple. Yeah, I think it's bliss. I think, yeah. I really fell in love with Oman.
Yeah,
I really fell in love
totally.
with Oman.
I agree. Would you like to kick off Saudi Arabia, or shall I?
No, you, because this has all thrown me.
Sorry.
Me and spontaneity doesn't exist.
Well, okay, the next one on the list was Saudi Arabia, and that has to be Boulevard World and Boulevard City, which are, if anyone's been to Epcot, it's a little bit like that. Or if you've been to Dubai and you've been to a place that's name escapes me, there's a theme park in Dubai that's the same way. There's like lots of countries within the theme park. And so you can go to like the Japan bit, you can go to the France bit, you can go to different pavilions that are themed around countries. And Saudi Arabia has its version of that, which is called Boulevard World. And then across the road, it's like Boulevard City, which is almost like, I'm really like, obviously I compare everything to Disney. It's a little bit like a downtown Disney.
You do love it was like that. You do love your theme park experiences.
I do.
Yeah, and they had the one and only WWE museum and shop.
Oh, sick.
It's
That was in the Boulevard.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It's the only one that exists, and it had like unreal memorabilia in there. I don't know why more don't exist, but that was definitely a cool moment for me to experience that. I'd be able to be within a hand's distance of like really iconic things like John Cena's first United States belt and stuff like this. But I want to share a feeling about it, Saudi as well. And it did feel quite different. I don't know. It had a darkness to it because it was something interesting about Saudi you wouldn't know if you didn't go is the light at nighttime is really dim.
Mm.
And that is around the entire of Riyadh, at least. In Riyadh, I don't know if it's the whole of Saudi, but this sounds like it wouldn't be a big deal, but it makes a real big, it really shifts the feeling of when it gets dark, because every lamppost, every light on every restaurant It's not bright. It's not flashy. It's not blasting in your eyes, neon, which is most cities, right? And I find that a bit overwhelming. Everything is deliberately dimmed, and there is reason to this. It's actually to experience more like it would have been back in the olden days, is a much more dimly lit, and they wanted to preserve nature more by not hitting it with as much unnatural light pollution. But it just has this sort of very, almost like dystopian bit of a. I love Saudi, but it had a bit of a spooky feel to it. It was just it just offered a different vibe to experience that more dim look around, and everything's very sparse. And like when I go on my runs, you would just be running around like just loads of sandy dirt paths, and just like suddenly get lost in like a truck stop. There was a lot of truck stops, and Saudi's not a very walkable place. It's a very drivable place. There's not any pavements, so you can't really walk any. Well, if you walk anywhere, you can, but you're genuinely walking on a main road. Everything's just road. So I don't know how to summarize that, but it just felt quite different.
Yeah.
To where I'd been before. It felt like quite a I don't know, shift.
Definitely. An interesting take. Yeah, I think that's something that stands out for sure. With Jordan, I'm worried that I'm going to steal your one here. But just I think when we've talked about it, how you described it, I think was perfect. That it has just a certain frequency. And that frequency is that it's like a really chilled place. Like, just slow, relaxed. Like, nobody's in a rush. Everybody's got time. It's just like a calmness. That is, of course, despite the fact that we saw missiles in the sky there, it was still very calm.
Yeah, sadly that ended up being the most memorable part, was missiles in the sky. For new listeners, we experienced missiles being fired from Iran to Israel when they started firing off at each other, and we happened to be right underneath it. You could literally see it from your seats when you're sitting down and eating. And but going to a more positive note, yeah, I would have to concur what you said. I think frequency was the best way to explain it, because there was obviously there's cultural differences everywhere, but there was nothing that I would say stood out that I would say, oh, that's the reason why it felt more chill. There wasn't anything that I could say stood out. I was like, oh, that's why. There wasn't. It was just another country, and it was just a feeling. I mean, I do operate a lot on feeling. Like even my running, the way I've grown and become an ultra marathon runner is a feeling. Like I don't do a lot of crazy amount of research. I more just listen to my body and my mind, and it makes decisions for me. So I will admit I'm more of a feeling person, but it just felt different. Like if I was to compare it to other countries, I'd have to think pretty hard to think what other country did that for me. Maybe in Osaka, Japan, that probably did something somewhat similar. Just had a very chill frequency. I never felt elevated there. Everything just felt like it was really interesting, but it just felt very calm and slow and quiet. Like I don't know, you just felt comfortable. And especially Jordan it's not a country many people go to. It's a pretty contested area of the world at the moment, but the people are so nice, and a good story to sort of show their kindness and the chillness of them. When I went to get some water, I went to our corner shop. Literally first time I'd met this guy, first time I'd walked into the shop. He's never seen me. We're only there for a few weeks. And I didn't have enough money on me. And he said, it's okay. Just pay me a different day. And I was like, no, like, you don't know me. You don't know if I leave it.
Like, I'll just nip back and get it.
Yeah, he didn't ask me if my accommodation was near. He didn't ask me how long I'm here for. He didn't ask me if I live. None of that. We chatted about his love for football. At one point, I thought he was in the international football team, but I think that was a mistranslation. But he was totally cool. He was like, yeah, no, honestly, he was demanding, like, go, please, I pay.
Yeah.
And I came straight away the next day, and he was like, yeah, chill.
Yeah. Honestly, that's so nice. Oh, God, I really want to go back to Jordan.
Well, that's one we have to get back on the map, because sadly we had to leave.
Yeah. And on the back of that, where we ended up going to, you'll have to listen to a previous episode about how we left Jordan, but we ended up going to Kosovo, which is a country that neither of us had heard of before. Is that fair to say that?
Yes. Yeah, I genuinely... I tell you what's crazy. I'd never heard of the country. The only reason I heard of the country only what 3 weeks before, just by absolute chance, one of the people I was interviewing to replace my job was from Kosovo.
That's so wild, isn't it?
It's the only reason why I knew. And before I interviewed her, I asked the person who interviewed her before and went, from Kosovo, what? Is this like I asked them, where's Kosovo? I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then they explained to me, I was like, yeah, I didn't want to be embarrassed or disrespectful, right?
Yeah. Well, so this is the short version is when like the missiles were going off and then we were hearing air raid sirens, we were like, okay, let's leave the country. And so we went to the airport, and to cut a very long story short, the only flight we could get on was to Pristina in Kosovo. Really lucky that we got on it. Didn't have a clue where the hell we were going, but we were just like, it's out of here, and that's what we need. Looked up and I was like, right, okay, cool, it's European. That's great news. Let's get to Europe. And yeah, and then when we landed, we had to get accommodation from the airport at like 10 p.m. or whatever time it was. But one thing that I noticed immediately on landing is how easy it was going to be. Like, I feel like we were meant to go to Kosovo. Like, I think we never would have booked it. It just it literally wouldn't have been on our radar at all. And while it wasn't the most exciting place in the world, I really enjoyed it because it was unexpected. I know we always say that the people are really nice everywhere, but in Kosovo, they were on
a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were so grateful, like, thank you so much for coming to our country. Please tell people, because I didn't know this, but I think Kosovo has a bit of a bad reputation, like, in the world. I don't know why that is. Like, if it's, like, when we're in Albania, you're like, typically in films, Albanians are the villains.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's something similar like that with Kosovans.
Well, they used to be part of Serbia.
Right.
And they only recently became Kosovo in, literally, the last, 20 years or something very recent. And there was some pretty vicious fighting, and we learned about the history. Actually, some quite horrible stuff happened.
Yeah.
But they finally broke away, actually with the support of the Americans and us.
Yeah, they love Bill Clinton.
Yeah, there's statues of Bill Clinton, isn't there? Because he played a big part in their defence.
And they have American flags everywhere. And yeah, they really love British and American people.
Yeah, which is a rarity.
It really, yeah, because we normally, you sort of get that, oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no one gets excited when you say you're British.
Yeah.
But Kosovo, they do.
Yeah, so I think that was, I don't know, it's got a very special place in my heart because I feel like it was a sanctuary for us, like in a moment of need, it provided. We didn't know what we were going into, even right up until the plane landing, we were like, where are we? So, yeah.
Yeah, Kosovo was lovely, and just before I forget, for the Jordan experience, if you want to learn about that, go to episode 52. The title is "We Had to Escape a War Zone. This is our story." So check that out. So for me, Kosovo, yeah, it was there in a time of need. Memory would be cafes. There was a ton of them. Probably the most populated amount of cafes in any area in the world. And it's known for that. We quickly learned it's just cafes, cafes, cafes. But none of them serve oat milk, which is a strange thing. Yeah, that was a notable thing. Also, the people are very lovely. You mentioned it. I would say an important thing to know about Kosovo is if you are someone who's looking for a change of scene, like as in literally out your country, and you're looking for opportunity, and you're a bit of an entrepreneur, you're a bit excited, you're excited to explore a future in your career, I think Kosovo, and you'd have to be, I would say more like maybe mid-20s, even early 30s, I think that would be a solid choice.
Interesting.
Solid choice. Because it's a young audience there, as Shelby will agree, a very good-looking audience.
Yes, I should have said that. Kosovans are stunners.
They're all
10 out of 10.
10 tens. So that's going for you if you're a single. And what's interesting is that there's still not a lot of obvious businesses there. Like the person I was interviewing for the job, she was the first person to start a marketing agency in Kosovo. That was like less than 10 years ago. There's a lot of opportunity. For example, a cafe that sells oat milk.
Yeah, they're few and far between.
We found one. So there's just, it's a new country for the most part. It's very fresh, and in those, a lot of opportunity comes. People get excited. People are happy. There's a big boom, and more money gets poured into it. So I could just, Kosovo is going to grow into something quite attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a really good point. I think because we've kind of gone off on some sort of tangents on some of these, let's make it like super quick fire for the remainder. So Montenegro, I'm going to say, the thing that stands out in my mind is the wine. The wine was great. What stands out for you?
Heat stroke.
Jesus, yeah. So you ran a raw marathon, didn't you?
That was my hardest marathon of the year.
Okay.
It was the hardest marathon of the year. It was horrific.
It took you like way longer than it was like double the length it would normally take you, I swear.
Yeah, it would usually take me about between 4 and 4.5. It took me about 6 hours 40.
Yeah, it's
That's 7 hours. Yeah.
scary, really.
Yeah, I won't be doing that again.
Gosh. Okay. Albania, I would say that Tirana, often capital cities aren't much to shout about, like compared to other places that seem to be the hidden gems. However, in Albania, Tirana, I would say, is better than Durrës.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with Durrës personally. I think the downtown is cool. I think it's quite nice. It's got some history to it, but the beach is a bit mid. It's got a few cool sort of like bars that you can go to on the beach that are pretty nice. But the beach isn't that nice, I think, because a lot of people go to them. And I'm just going to say it, I didn't feel very welcome.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I didn't feel very welcome. I don't think that's a representation of the Albanians as a whole, because we had a big different experience in Tirana. But I didn't feel that welcome in any of the shops or any restaurants, really.
I would agree. Also, you can't get any tennis in Albania.
No, any sports. They were like they like laughed out the room when we said, "Would you put tennis on?" They're like, "We don't watch tennis." Was it the Wimbledon final? Yeah, literally, it was Wimbledon. Yeah. We finally
convinced.
It was about the 7th bar, and 4 of these were like proper big sports bars.
Yeah, with like 20 screens in them.
Yeah, like 20 screens, and they wouldn't even put it on, or they didn't have the channel. And finally, one did, and it was just luck, really. Just one on Montenegro. I'm sorry. Don't bother with Podgorica. It's boring. Go to KOTOR. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
A James Bond film was filmed there as well.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Yes. Vietnam. Oh, what could I say about this? See, I could rant forever about how good Vietnam is, and I'm actually going again very shortly, so I'm looking forward to that. The thing that stands out for me in Vietnam is... I'm going to say the train street in Hanoi. I know it's a super touristy thing, but it is very cool. It's worth a visit.
It is. It's cool. It's one of those Instagram things, but it's actually worth it. Be careful. The train comes shockingly close.
Yeah.
Like there's some videos where it has gone. So be careful. Yeah, I think the old towns of Vietnam just stole my heart, or took my heart in a positive way. Stole seems a bit not good. But the old town of Hanoi was awesome. It just had such a freaking vibe to it. All the food was epic. So many cool markets, like cool vibes. It's just train track going through it. Loads of colours. Hoi An, another old town that was just lit up by all these lanterns and like these gondolas going down. It was just,
spectacular, wasn't it?
Yeah, spectacular. Vietnam's definitely up there.
Yeah.
With one of the best places we've been to.
Totally. Laos. I don't want to be negative. I really like Laos. But the thing that stands out in my mind is bugs, and that's probably because I walked face first into a spider. So yeah, that's the thing that stands out in my mind and will forever. Although I could Luang Prabang, where we were, I could walk those paths very clearly in my mind. It just really made an impact on me. I could just go to the night market and go and get some scran. It was great. But yeah, lots of bugs.
It was. So to give you an idea of Luang Prabang, it's in Laos, and if you're not sure what Laos is, it's next to Vietnam. And Luang Prabang, if you zoom out on maps, it is a small town in a jungle. So they basically force the jungle out the way, and it's this town, and then the rest, you're just consumed by jungle. If the airport stopped working, you ain't getting out. So it is bugs, snakes, everything. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I loved my nature, and that's definitely what stood out for me was the nature. I went for the most I feel like every hike I do, I go, that's the best hike. That's the best hike. I feel like I just don't know which is the best hike anymore. But I think maybe the Nong Kiao, I did a 3-day trek through the jungles, and I'm talking deep jungle. Like, God, you just walk off on your own for 5 minutes and you feel like you're lost. Like, it's spooky. If you don't have a clear path, and some of this path is just going through river. So you're like, am I still on the path? Like, I'm not sure. It's getting pretty slippy now and a bit fat. It's a bit, but if you just embrace it, it's amazing. So the nature was, the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. I think that it's definitely a Scott place.
Yeah.
South Korea, the spa, called Simmer, Cimer. That has to be what stands out to me. Again, I could talk for days about how good South Korea was, but that would be the thing that has made a lasting impact on me. Oh, that or Olive Young, which is the skincare shop that I was obsessed with.
Olive Young, a great skincare shop, and we bought our family lots of presents from there for Christmas. For me, it's out of 2, autumnal. And we struck it right where it was autumn. I know you might be saying, I've experienced autumn in my country. UK's well known for autumn being very beautiful. But my goodness, South Korea took it to another level. We were in Seoul, we were in the suburb Incheon. It was just stunning. There was trees all on every street with every colour, red, yellow, green, brown, different shades of brown, red. Like, it was just beautiful. And I really appreciate that. The other piece would be, it's quite cyberpunky, the downtown.
Yeah, it's cool ass.
And it just had a real, it's kind of like Japan, it's just cool. Like, every place you go, I think I'm cool for just being here. Yeah,
the cool's going to rub off on me.
Yeah. I feel like I am, so down right now just for standing in this shop. Like, it's just cool. They just know what cool is.
Yeah, they really do. And then we'll separate China mainland, Shanghai, and Hong Kong separately. Shanghai, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised that I'm going to say finishing the Disneys.
Yeah.
So that is a life goal of mine that's taken me 33 years to achieve, so I can't not say that.
No, that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, Shanghai, China, I was just so fascinated by China. There was obviously the challenge of understanding how to get connected with your phone. That was a real difficulty for us. But I feel like once you get over that hurdle, you can enjoy yourself. It's hard to say what stuck out because I don't want to be on a negative. I don't know. What
about how surprisingly veggie-friendly it was?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I was very surprised. The veggie was very nice. I've got it. It's how social the locals were.
Yeah. And with us as well.
Never expected that in a million years. There was a couple things, because China is like, they're the bad guy. Like, they just get...
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's like the Middle East. They get portrayed as just, they're all whatever. It's just this propaganda. And I was shocked to how social the locals were. And a lot of the, English is not well spoken. Is not. I mean, we were in an international hotel and no one spoke English.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you a flavour for it. But everyone tried so hard to make friends with us. And to the point where it got to a part of the conversation where I was like, well, let's exchange WeChats and let's maybe meet up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy. I've not experienced this before. So that was a lasting memory.
Yeah, nice. And Hong Kong, it's got... There were 2 restaurants that we went to frequently. One was a totally vegan one was a vegetarian buffet. And both were phenomenal. And, again, super nice people. English is more widely spoken in Hong Kong. And it's got a more Western vibe, I would say. It doesn't feel like China. There are elements that certainly do. But generally speaking, it was... I've aside from it being super busy, I found Hong Kong somewhat comfortable, I think. Yeah, how about you?
Interesting. I was the opposite. I did not find it comfortable. Unless you're talking from a perspective, we could understand it more because it was very Western.
Yeah, exactly. Able to get around easy,
Okay.
able to buy things easily, phone work fine. I guess
Ye-
just compared to Shanghai.
Yeah, so to adjust to their system, their buses, their trains, everything, yes, that was very straightforward, and the underground was fantastic. But for me, it felt like we're in America. It felt like we were in like a New York, but it was where everyone who was Chinese lived.
Mm.
I shouldn't say that everyone who was Hong Kong, sorry. I know that's...
Well, it's a contentious issue. I
I
think
know
they
it's
are unified at the
contentious.
minute, but
We're just trying to go off what the maps tell us. There's two separate countries of flags, but we're not trying to stir up any fish.
yes.
I don't think it'll make sense. So yeah, for me it was too busy. I found it quite a spectacle because it was condensed. And it was a lot of high rises. Like New York is a spectacle. You just look at it and go, oh, sheesh, wow, that is a big building.
Mm.
Like it's very grand. It's loud. It's sort of in your face. I don't like places like that, but you can appreciate the gravitas, and they just feel quite almighty and quite like, wow, this is like every film ever has probably been. There's so many iconic scenes that would have been shot here, and I felt like there were streets where I'll go, I don't know what's been shot here, but I know something's been shot here. So, yeah, that'd be my 2 cents.
Nice. Well, I mean, that was a super speedy round of let's talk about everything from every country we've been to this year. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
I think we should do favourite and least favourite.
Country?
Yes. Out of this year.
Out of this year. Well, for me, it's got to be Vietnam. I've loved all of them. And I think had we spent more time in Jordan, I may have said Jordan.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be Vietnam. I loved Vietnam. And I'm absolutely buzzing that I'm going in a few days.
Yeah, Shelby's going. I'm so happy that you're going to be taking your mum and showing her what we loved, and you're going to a special part that we really enjoyed.
Yeah, I'm really excited to show her it, especially all the restaurants. She said again today, she was like, Scott finds a cheap flight. He knows he can come.
Yeah, she even mentioned it to me earlier. She said, there's space in the accommodation. I really appreciate that, but no, I think it's best you guys have a nice mother and daughter time. My favourite was for sure the country next door to it, Laos. Again, there's a bunch I loved in that list, but Laos, I just lost myself with it. I could just lose myself and live there for a long time. Well, it's quite a difficult place to live, if I'm honest, so maybe that's a bit far, but I could just go back and forth there constantly because it's just nature, hiking, running heaven. It's just so alive and so effing stunning. And I just was pinching myself like every day because of how beautiful it was.
Well, maybe we go and live in Vietnam for a bit, and then you can pop into Laos whenever you feel like it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Sounds good. Anything else that you want to...
Least favourite?
Oh, least favourite, of course, sorry. Least favourite would be probably Montenegro, I think. Yeah, I think Montenegro. I think I don't really have other than I did really like KOTOR. I thought it was beautiful, but there's like bits in my head that I'm like it didn't really stand out that much compared to all the other places.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Actually, Podgorica was actually quite boring.
Yeah, like I can remember one day I went for a walk to the famous church there or something, and it was like,
oh, that church was cool. The one that had the images of all the different leaders.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool
That
actually.
church was sick.
But that's like, but there's nothing around it. Like there's
No,
nothing
it's
to
quite
see or
sparse.
do.
Yeah, I never found the downtown busy. Like I ran all around that city, and there was no like area that felt central or where everyone sort of congregated. It was just like quite spaced out. So yeah, I was gonna say a different one, but now you're making me think. Actually, that's hard. Oh, see, I was going to say Hong Kong, if I'm honest. I wasn't in love with Hong Kong, but it probably brought me more fun than Montenegro.
Yeah.
Because KOTOR was great. KOTOR, we went there for a week, it was great. And I think if we stayed around there, we would have had more fun. Podgorica was boring. I wasn't in love with Albania. Tirana was good. Did not like Durez.
Yeah, likewise.
So I feel like Tirana. So, now I feel difficult. I was so sad in Hong Kong, but then I forgot these other countries. I think, bugger it, I'll go Montenegro.
Okay.
I think it brought the least
Yes.
to us, which is, it was not what I was expecting.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I guess it's good to do these reflections, I think, because God, I can't believe that Oman was this year.
Yeah,
So
shocking.
it's like February, I think, wasn't it?
It felt like at least last year.
Yeah, it feels like ages ago. Like I would say Japan almost feels like more recent, and that was April last year versus February this year.
Yeah, it's wild. What's one thing you've learned
from travels this year?
Yeah,
To be open to not going with the plan.
love it.
I think, yeah, that would be the main. And I think that this year, more than others, we've done things quite late in the day. We've left it until we were sure. Like, we've not booked it months in advance. We've booked it sometimes days, sometimes hours in advance. And yeah, I think that being comfortable with the last minute changes and not going with the plan. That's what I've learned.
I love that because, you're right. I think we've been much better. Well, whilst we've known that is the recommended thing to do, we've struggled to apply it. It is really difficult. And I think we've become really good at that this year.
Yeah.
And I think the last leg really showed that. For me, the cringe thing that we both said is overhearing other people's, overhearing ourselves, because especially when you hear others people say it, it realizes how pretentious you say. When you're on a coach and someone's speaking to someone, where have you been this year? I've been to Vietnam, I've been here,
Yeah.
It just sounds so pretentious and so up your own ass.
It does.
But like that, what else are you to say? And people will ask us, and we kind of have to list off, and you realize how many countries it is, and you're like, you get halfway through and I go, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah. That I agree. And I also I kind of get sick of being asked the same questions and answering. I feel like I don't answer them with as much gusto anymore.
Yeah, what's your favourite one? Where should I go?
I'm just like, Japan. Why?
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. It's great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. So, but I think that's it really. And people are lovely wherever you go.
Yes.
People have been amazing. The majority of people high majority of everyone we've had an experience with, met for a second, has been welcoming and loving.
Yeah. And I think that's a key takeaway, that you can find common ground with anyone in any country. You will find something that you have in common.
Yeah.
Like, whether that's saying hello. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's a smile, whether it's you'll make a connection with whoever, wherever.
100%. Yeah, it's been a wonderful year of travel.
It really has. My darling.
Thank you
for
joining me on it.
Thank you. It's been an absolute dream. Well, it wouldn't be an episode of Yalla Habibi without learning something wacky. So, Scott, I think it's time for your WTF of the week.
It is Scott's WTF of the week. Every week the world gets a little weirder. Let's talk about the strangest thing that went down this week. And this is a strange one. So this is in Thailand, and sadly, what happened is it's called the Riverside Restaurant, and you're probably already figuring out what's about to happen.
Oh.
So it's in central Thailand, and what has happened is this river can regularly break its banks. It tends to happen annually, and what's a shame is it floods the restaurant, and it's literally directly next to the river, so it floods it pretty bad. And in the past, they've just closed the doors, and it's like this video and pictures like it is properly flooded, ruins a lot of the kitchenware, everything, and they've not got a lot of money, so it absolutely ruins them. And they were worried it was going to put them out of business, and they were getting really worried that it was going to happen this year. But what was quite peculiar is what happened is they decided this year to keep it open, even though it's flooded. They just thought, let's see it. So what happened is a customer, shared a video of him eating in there. It was flooded. Eating there, they had to stay open, and that went viral. Now, why did this go viral? Because one, he was eating in a restaurant that was flooded, but two, it was full of fish.
No way.
Because we're talking right next to the river. So there are videos online, you can look at this, and it is just people having their dinner, but your foot, the water's up to like your ankles, and it's just full of fish.
Whoa.
And it's just become an online sensation. So now people actively go there, and they just eat amongst the fish. And the kids love to just look at them. Apparently some people just feed them, just throw the feed off the table. They go mental. But I'm talking a lot of fish on this. You can check it out. So she was really worried that it was going to put her out of business, but it hasn't actually. The profits have actually doubled daily. It's actually doubled. So she's actually managed to get a lot more money from the restaurant. So yeah, it's worked out quite well for them.
Wow, what a wacky. Because we live close-ish to a city called York, and that floods frequently. Because of a big river going through it. I wonder if there's anywhere like that. That was so mad. Imagine like just going and wading through a flooded restaurant. Must be pretty good food.
Yeah, it must be, right?
Yeah.
It must be. I think they just capitalised on the online sensation. I'll just give them a shout. The owner is, Susie.
I mean, it looks like Pawn Camel. Frank Frempri said Paget has been open for more than 30 years.
There we go.
Yeah.
That person. So yeah, there we go.
Well, what an interesting... So it's been open for more than 30 years. Normally they close it because of the flooding, and they were just like, screw it, let's just keep it open.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, why not? Why let this annual flood ruin our revenue? And instead... See, sometimes like the wackiest ideas are the best ones.
But 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to sometimes go against what everyone else does.
You do. Swim upstream, as it were.
There we go.
Well, interesting story. I think now it's time for Shelby's Good Vibes Only, so let's take a break from the chaos. Here's something to make you smile this week. Shelby's Good Vibes Only. A Chicago suburb has rallied in under 24 hours to feed neighbours. So you may be familiar with the government lockdowns in the US. If you're not, it's just, I mean, I don't fully understand it, but basically when they shut it down, then like none of the government workers get paid. Like loads of benefits are stopped. And in this particular case, the SNAP benefits, which is for federal food assistance, and it helps low-income Americans to get groceries and things like that, they were cut in half for millions of people during the government shutdown. But in Evanston, Illinois, within 24 hours, over 100 volunteers managed to stock local food banks, including one called Chicago Hope Food Pantry, and they stocked them with groceries, canned foods, all this kind of stuff, which were essential for these families that were really struggling at this time. I mean, imagine just like suddenly having to... You're already struggling because you're on benefits, and then having to deal with having only half of that. But what I also think is quite interesting is while all these volunteers were working at this food drive and everything, organisers handed out Know Your Rights cards and whistles to people because of ICE presence. So ICE, I don't remember what it stands for, but I'm sure everyone knows who they are. They're the people that are going around, and I want to be careful what I say here, but their job is to find people who are in the country illegally and deport them. They're obviously quite infamous for being ruthless and brutal with their approach in that. So yeah, so giving out that knowing your rights, because don't take this as a literal thing, because I may get this wrong, but like I don't think they have to, you don't have to cooperate if they don't show ID, or there's things like that.
Right, okay, yeah.
There's like rules around what they can and can't do. So again, don't take what I've just said as an actual law. I know nothing about the laws in America. But I think it's really handy that they have managed to rally and do that for their community.
Yeah, I think this day and age, it feels like that community is what a community used to be. I'll be honest, feels like it's dead in these days.
Yeah,
it's just different. People don't rally for each other anymore. It'd have to be something pretty severe. Whereas in the past, if they just heard your neighbour was ill, they'd be bringing over medicine and checking in on you, just
Yeah.
knocking on your door. Just little
Making
things.
you food.
Making you food, yeah, just like, oh. So it's lovely to see. It's lovely to see that these 100 volunteers got together so quickly and supported the locals that this was going to hit the hardest.
Yeah.
And that's important, because sometimes we don't have control over what the government does, and we don't agree with what the government does. And we've just got our best come together as we can and figure it out together so we get through it together.
Yeah.
So I think it's lovely to see that.
Definitely. And I will say, I won't name her on here, but there is someone that I know who's like a close friend of the family. And she's got a lot of friends on Facebook and like is known within the community, just like she's got a lot of friends. And she posted about someone who was struggling and that she wanted to get together like a hamper. And she personally basically organised that, saying if anyone's got any food that I can give or any Christmas gifts. So I think there are people like that in communities still, and hopefully it will return, is what I'm saying.
That's lovely.
It is.
An honourable friend.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
She's lovely.
Wow.
Well, if you enjoyed this episode,
There are many you could watch. So honestly, because we talked about more travel, and that was a good vibes, Ollie. Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
dad. It was a lovely one. I could tell you did lots of research there. Well done.
I really did.
No, you did. There's a lot of there I didn't know was going to come up.
Oh,
And yeah, there's a bunch of them. We could recommend you 80% of our episodes from this year, because we talk about a lot about travel, because at the end of the day, we talk about what we're getting up to as a couple. And that just happens to be travel at this moment in time. So there's a lot of episodes, but a couple of notable ones is Hong Kong, Everything You Think You Know Is Wrong, Inside the World's Most Surreal Border, How K-pop Became a Weapon, or another episode, The One Thing We Wish We Knew Before Visiting China, or another one, my favourite place, Surviving Laos, How Travel Breaks You and Rebuilds You, and of course, the episode 52 that we mentioned earlier, which depicts our Jordan escape, which is episode 52. We had to escape a war zone. This is our story. So there's a bunch. There's loads of episodes. Just go check them out, and you'll get an even better flavour of our feelings and experiences from these countries.
absolutely. Before we get all swallowed up by the madness of the day-to-day life, please can you do us a favour and smash the like button with a hammer, karate chop subscribe, drop 5 stars on the podcast like a rebel, and share the episode by setting off fireworks in your backyard. It means a lot to us. Also, please don't set off fireworks in your backyard. It scares animals.
Yes, please don't. But still, please do everything we requested.
Yeah, other than the fireworks.
It means a lot.
It does. Another adventure wrapped up.
But the journey never ends.
Keep your bags packed for the next one. And remember, when in doubt, just say,
Yalla
Yalla
Habibi.
Habibi. See you next time.